Welcome back to Just Carve Rob. And what are we doing? Well, we're late. We're carving the last Santa of the midwinter season. Starting out with our customized beaver craft knife. Already got the hat done. A little ball carved on it. Sure you guys can figure out how to do that. Flattening out that forehead. Remember, there's three planes to the forehead. The sides and the middle. And then just kind of smooth it over. On some people, you can actually see flat planes, but I would say great deal of people, the forehead's a little rounded. Um, the head tapers in at the temples, which is on the side of the head. So I always bring the beard in. Marking where that nose is going to be. We've got where our eyebrows are going to be up there. We'll shape it in a little bit with this knife. And then we're going to go over to the micromotor with a saber-tooth comb burr. Rough this face in a little bit. Hello, Jordy Johnson. Here's your video I promised you. Back from when you were doing the eagle chair. Jordy Johnson over at Carving Fusion. If you don't know who he is, go check out his channel. But I'm sure everybody knows who he is. Or not. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Gonna mark those nostrils in right there. And there again, we're going to keep pushing back the eye channels and the upper eyebrow. And that will get our nose in deeper. The more you want your nose to stick out, the further back in you want your eyes to sit. Because remember, your nose angle's back. I probably could have went deeper with this face, but because I'm on a corner, the further you push the face back, the more you have to carve the hat back. And you could end up with just a little nub on top because that hat goes back on an angle, right? And if you push the hat back too far, you're going to start taking away from the top of the hat because you're on a corner. And you're tapering that hat back. I guess you could leave the hat tilted forward a little bit, I guess. I don't know. But I like doing the hat first because then that's going to tell me how wide the face is going to be. Some people start off with the face or rough shape it. I always start the hat, and I always bring the hat almost to finish. The hat will change throughout the process, though. Because, like I said, as we push that face back, we don't want the hat to way overhang the face, even though it is a furry ruff that sticks out there. You know what I mean. You kind of want everything to equal out. You don't want it to look like a brimmed hat. So we got to keep pushing that ruff back, which means we got to push the top of the hat back, which means we got to push the flop of the ball on it back. Okay, now we've got a little diamond ball. It's a diamond ball, yeah. And we're going to jump over to the knife here. Going to clean this fuzz up a little bit. I got this, it was 2x2x6 basswood from Amazon. And this is the fuzziest basswood I've ever carved. Okay, so you see we're working on the three planes again, bringing that forehead down so it's a little flatter. And we're going to work on getting those eye channels cut back a little more. Okay, so you want to make them the same size and point it in the same way and try keeping the centers at the same height. This is where I always mess up. Okay, the top of the eyebrow should be, for cutting your eye in, should be a little bit flatter than that. The top, right where I'm cutting now, right above there, I think should be a little flatter. I'm going to have to try it on one to see how I like it. Okay, So now we're changing over to a diamond flame burr. And we're going to push up underneath that hat. So the hat, there isn't that radius rolling into the forehead. Make the hat look like it's sitting over top of the forehead instead of the forehead and the hat being look like they're connected. Going to work this nostril here, the old snot flare. Try to get them down to the same size. And this basswood's a little bit hard. These diamonds really don't want to do much for it. Okay, so now we want to get that nose about the same shape, but that nose has to go back further, so we're going to keep working on that anyway. Okay, so now we have another micromotor with a 3/32 shank carbide flame burr. And this is where the rubber hits the road right here. These little carbide flame burrs, they work really well for roughing in. You know, when you're doing little things like this, your saber tooth and your cut saw don't get you very far because they're too broad, they're too wide, too thick, whatever. So you got to go with smaller burrs. Well, the smaller burrs, you're going to want to get like those single flute aluminum cutters with the 1/8 inch shaft. The 3/32 ones are very hard to find. The only place I found them was mountainwoodcarvers.com. Not affiliated. That's where I buy a lot of my knives and burrs and stuff like that at. For the little carbide ones, that's where I get those little 1/32 shaft carbide. Now they won't work in your Dremel unless you get a 3/32 collet for your Dremel. The shank is too small, but they do have them with the 1/8 inch shank. Just make sure it says 1/8 inch. But you can get them in them sets off Amazon. Although the ones I get from Mountain Wood Carver seem to stay sharp for a longer period of time because the ones I buy are solid carbide. Okay, so they work pretty good they work for a long time on wood. The ones you get from Amazon made of Chinesium, they say they're carbide, but I don't know if they are or not. So, yeah, the high-speed steel ones don't last very long at all. So I wouldn't even mess with high-speed steel. It seems like they dull out pretty quick. For me, they do anyway. But I've got carbide ones that I've had for quite a while. And even my 1/4 inch ones for the 1/4 inch die grinders, I've had them for years. And as long as you don't do stupid things with them, like drop them on the floor or get them chattering so bad they break a tooth off, they last for a long time. Which I've done all those things. Okay, so now we've got the Dremel with cut saw extreme flame burr. And we're going to shape this face in here and round everything over. We're using this because it really digs, right? And we don't got to worry about wood direction like with a knife. And this wood does have a lot of varying direction in it. Say hi to Ben over at Studio on the Lake. Haven't seen him around much. Of course, I haven't seen me around much either. Just got over the COVID thing. Oh, that was a crappy 3 weeks of my life. Right during Christmas, too. So I missed Christmas. I missed New Year's. Didn't go over to see nobody. Nobody came over to see me because that's a Christmas present you just don't want to give anybody. So it's all good. We'll keep shaping this face here. Getting that beard cut where we want it cut to. We're going to give it a little sweep. And now I'm going to go to the knife to take off bigger chunks. This is a flex cut detail knife. I shouldn't be using for slabbing wood off, but it's mine. I paid for it. I'll do what I want. Yep. It just makes less dust when you slab it off with a knife. If I had a miniature axe, I would have been using that because it's just getting rid of all the overburden. Okay, so that's a drywall cutter in my micromotor. These work well. It's almost like drawing with a fat pencil. But in the micromotor, if you get it where it chatters, like you get in a spot, you get it kind of pinched and it'll chatter, losing my voice. It will shake itself out of that collet. Excuse me. Now we've got the Dremel with the Cuts All Extreme bit. I figured might as well just bore that hole right in there. That's where his mouth is going to be. In case I haven't mentioned it, Bruce Ackeny. He started doing these yelling Santas. Calls them a repo Santa. Bad kids, I want my toys back. Okay, so we got our drywall cutters squaring things off. Bruce Ankeny. Yes. Hope I'm saying your name right, Bruce. As far as I know, he's the brain behind the open mouth. I'm sure other people have done it, but he does his in that caricature style, and I really like it. So, Bruce Ankeny. Ankeny? I think that's what his YouTube channel is called, too. Bruce Ankeny. Figured, well, since we've got the drywall cutter in here, we might as well go ahead and start putting a couple hairs in the beard here. Hopefully someday I get better at these Santa Clauses. I try and I try and I try. But that's what it's all about. Practice, practice, practice. You got to practice to get any better at anything, right? I've been practicing eating pie. I'm still not the master of pie eating yet, but I'll keep practicing eating pie. Yes, I will, as much as I possibly can. But I'll tell you what, this guy would make a heck of a Viking if we changed the hat on him, I think. I'll say my cropping work here. But you get the idea. We're just hollowing out a hole. And then we're deciding on the width of the mouth, the length of the mouth. Apparently I've done that. I'm going to start setting the lip. There's lower lip in there. We're going to have to paint this guy. Now we've got that 3/32 carbide burr in there again. Another micromotor. We're going to dig the sides back so we can show his bottom teeth in the back, along with his tongue in there. Probably should have left it uphill a little bit and had his tongue, like halfway in his mouth, but I didn't. So we get what we get. Okay, so I'm pushing that back so it shows the corners of his mouth. Okay, so now we've got a inverted cone burr. And we're just going back and we're cutting some hairs in. And the way you control the hair quality is by how hard you push. As far as putting deep crack, like crevices in there and whatnot. Man, this wood's fuzzy. And we're getting that hair cut in his beard. Then we'll have to do the hat. And basically it's just putting lines down and crossing them. See, those look a little too straight right there, so I'll come back and crisscross them. Make it a little messier of a beard. And get right up on in there. And you got to remember this cutter is cone shaped, upside down. So don't be afraid to spin your part around to change the angles of the cone. Using the old boot brush to brush some of the fuzz off of it. It's still pretty fuzzy. So we've got a thing. What do you call that thing? Oh, come on. Scour pad. I can't remember the name of it. So anyway, I got that and the micromotor turned way down slow. And we're just buffing this, trying to get some of the fuzz off of this guy. 3M makes these pads. These ones are from the dollar store. I think you get two of them that are 4 inches by 4 inches for and what, half-inch thick for $2. So Scotch-Brite makes them. 3M makes them. I'm out of my 3M one, so I just grabbed some of these when I was at the dollar store. Works okay. It's not as aggressive as the they got brown and green. I think green is the less coarse. Don't forget to sign your pieces. There we go. RV. We signed it. Yep. And all that fuzzy stuff on the back is from the bandsaw. So we might as well clean that off. Yep. We'll just shave that fuzz off of it. Dry shave it. Yep. Okay. See? It comes off pretty easy. It's a 2-inch OCC knife, in case you're wondering. And okay, so we carved some of the name away, so now we'll go back and we'll date it. Our first wood carving of 2024. There it is. Okay, let's shave the fuzz off that. There we go. All right. We're coming to the end. Okay, so that's what he looks like. And we might as well do the hat. Do the hat since we're here. We're just going to dot it and put some lines on it and make it look like fur once it's painted. We'll use off-white. And same on the ball. We'll do the same procedure to the ball. I should have made that face deeper so his cheekies was stuck out more. Oh, well. It is what it is. It's done now. Just got to paint it. Oh, I dread the dreaded painting. Look how dirty that thing's getting just from handling it. Okay, so now we're putting the fur on the ball. Put some dots on that to give it some depth. Right? Yep, just like that. Do the eyebrows. Yep. Okay, I think we're going to change over to one of the little diamond wheel bits to finish putting the eyebrows in here. Yep. There we go. Touch it. We'll just touch it and that'll be it for the eyebrows, and then we'll do the other side like that. Yep, just like that there. Yep, a little more over here, and that's it. Ba-deep. That's all there is, folks. We'll catch you on the next one. All right? All right, Spike? All right. Bye-bye.